Can you feel the power? Feel the power of double X.
Positive Power 21.org. Internet radio.
You're listening to Jerry Royce Live Worldwide Podcast.
Hey, my name is Davis and I'm from Haiti, but I live in Dominican Republic. I'm here, Positive Power 21, Jerry Royce Live Worldwide.
All right. What's up, family? What's going on, family? Thank you for tuning in to Jerry Royce Live Worldwide right here on Positive Power Double XI Christian Media. This is the late night show with Shay Samuels. That's right. Shay is here to help the Batman out. That's right. Take a load off his plate, and we appreciate her. Tonight we got a very special guest. She's an author, and she's here to share her life journey with you guys, and reason why she wrote the book. And she's actually I call them career writers. She's looking to become a career writer. She's been writing all her life, and I guess she's ready to take that next big step. That's right. So anyway, she's here to share. Her name is Tawanda Blake, and she's going to tell everything to Shay. But right now, let's say hi to Shay real quick, and Batman can get out y'all way. All right, what's going on, Shay? Shay, what's up? How you doing? Happy Labor Day.
Happy Labor Day. How are you, Jerry Royce Live Worldwide, a.k.a. the Batman? It's been a long day.
I know. I was just telling Lakeisha, maybe don't know what days of the holiday. She's been waking us up at 4 o'clock and 6 o'clock and want to be outside by 7 o'clock. Yeah. It's been crazy.
Somebody has some training to do.
I know. We asked Jordy. He said she didn't do that with him. She used to sleep late because I used to take her out. Yeah. I don't know. She just taking advantage of us. You know? We went. I know that's what it is. But look, and it was Labor Day today, and Batman was trying to reach out to you today. I said Shay probably at some barbecues. She's probably entertaining today. We know how she roll. But because she is one of the CEOs of Beyond the Fence, she can't do that kind of stuff no more. She got to run the company on the holidays. So,
I co in the owning and running. So, I was saying that today. I was like, it's amazing. Shout out to the Beyond the Fence family and to T. Will, who's coming out with a new release pretty soon, hopefully this week. So we were kind of chatting today, and I just thought to myself, like, we really don't have a day off.
No,
we really don't have a day off. There's a lot of things happening in the BDF family, and today, of course, today being Monday, our motivational day too. So it's just kind of all music, all everything. Mm-hmm. So this is a day in the life.
That's right. And even though COVID is going on, people are just not sitting back watching Netflix and Hulu and cable all day. They're trying to make some things happen. Trying to get ready for the shift. Yeah,
shout out to Sean Ray Price, too, because I was watching a little bit of her live tonight, her virtual concert tonight, so shout out to her. So like you said, people aren't just sitting back waiting for TV shows to just come on. They're creating their own platform. Right. So she did that tonight, her and her amazing husband, Dupree. So
I was watching that, too. That's on my favorite platform, Periscope. Yeah, Batman, we've been working some Periscope. Speaking of, shout and congratulations to you guys. You guys are introducing, your new brand on top of your brand, working with other people, trying to help them with their brand. That's much needed. That's a niche market. Yes. So congratulations to you guys for thinking outside the box.
Thank you.
Amen.
Thank you. We've been doing it for some time, and that's the thing. We've been doing it for a long time, and like everyone else, the pandemic hit, and it was just time for us to really just kind of capitalize off the opportunity. David was just saying it's probably the best time for us to do it now because a lot of people were kind of giving up on their dreams and people were starting things that they had been trying to start for a while. And we get phone calls every day, Jerry, from people who just want to know, like, how do we do this? How should we do this? What should we say here? How do we market this? We have promoters who promote, and they're calling us to find out how to promote. So it was just the perfect opportunity for us to actually add that as an official expansion. So we went right in ground running.
That's right. That's what you got to do. And that was, and you know, it's funny. We didn't have our guest on Lakeisha's show, so that was one of the things we did today. Was we had a scripture-based, scripture-based topic, and it kind of ran off of what Paula and I was doing earlier, because we actually taped my journey today, which. You know, one time we weren't even thinking about this. We was just letting Paula do her thing. So we were so successful with Skeet and Sky. Paula said, "Let me try." So it worked out well. We did 4 shows today, and then I actually did a show with Skeet and Sky today. So I actually was doing TV. And actually, and I had Dr. Holmes was in studio on Saturday here, so Batman been working.
I heard. Yeah. Shout out to Dr. Holmes. I heard he called me right after and said, "I just left the Bat Cave. I just left Batman." So shout out to Eric.
Yep,
Dr.
he was
Coach.
here. It was funny because we're gonna get to you, Tawanda. We're gonna get to you. Tawanda probably said, "When are they gonna shut it up?" Real quick. Who I Am had gotten a lot of eyes were open, And at first I thought it was a spinoff because we didn't really promote the show that have the movie that heavy, but I guess where it went was enough, because the next day when we was on Powerlift, which is a Thursday, I guess I forgot what happened. It was a mix up with the guests. I got the shows mixed up. I ended up getting the guy that we featured on Who I Am. And he was a guest, and Pastor Red was so blown away by this guy, and I don't even think he had a chance to see the movie, and things just been going crazy. I got calls. I think we got another opportunity to do some more television for another station. So, I got to say, you just never know what God is going to do for you during this prayer. People just, like you said, you should not give up. Don't give up on your dream. Yeah. Just keep it moving. You just don't know where the opportunity is going to come from. Prayers are real.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And I think, too, what people have to realize, because I honestly have, the more I dig into, finding out what people's visions are, the first thing that they talk to us about is the fear. That's the very first thing that they talk to us about, the fear. And shout out to Dr. Terrell Jenkins, as you know. I like to keep things under wraps, but you know that we are currently going through the coaching classes with the LCSA life coaching school with Dr. Terrell.
Shout out.
And I knew, shout out to Dr. Terrell. They are
Coach
so amazing.
That's right.
But, the one thing that I realized is that coaching was definitely an aspect of the consulting and the strategist piece of what we do. And so my desire was to go ahead and get the certification in that. And in doing that, I realized, like I said, there's more coaching and transformation of the mind when people are doing things, when they're walking out their vision. Yes, and, we have our conference, God is in everything, right? So we've been doing this now for over 5 years, really honing in on people's purpose. But the biggest challenge that we all have to overcome is fear.
That's right. And do it. Just do it, y'all.
Don't
be scared.
We have to. You have to just do it. The pandemic opened up so many opportunities. I mean, just look at the companies with masks, Jerry. Like, how many people started sewing up masks and made close to, I'm just going to say, $1 million just in making masks.
That's right.
They weren't thinking
15,
about that before.
25. I've seen some going for 100. And just think the company, a lot of
what I haven't seen that yet.
The Ravens the NFL team started out around $120, I think, and the company that actually make the N5s, the N95 masks, they actually made like $50-something million, 3M last year. That's a small company. A lot of people don't know they're a really small company, based in the Midwest somewhere. Yeah. So there's money to be made.
So I believe like you that you just have to follow your dream and don't be afraid, and it'll come back around. So I'm glad Who I Am came back around for you. And
cause just think, when that came out, that idea was given to me when Freddie Gray, that whole thing broke out in Baltimore, and Charles Clark got together with Jamal Bryant and Ray Lewis and all those guys. And I kept saying, what should I do? Because I wasn't going out there in that crowd with Charles. I was like, no, Charles, you go ahead and deal with that. That's your thing. They used to that. I said, I'm just going to figure something out. Because, it was kind of wild for media to be out there with cameras and stuff. It was crazy. So I said, I need to find my piece for this. And then that's when the idea came that black men need to be able to get in front of the camera and tell their story, tell people where we came from. A lot of us didn't grow up with fathers, as role models, or even a decent community where we had role models. So then you have the idea why this kid turned out like this. But then at the end, some of these kids still turned out to be great humans, despite what they had to face. So that's why I wanted to do this film. I think we actually have a piece with Dr. Jenkins that we're going to be releasing probably this week. Him, Dr. Newsom, Harvey Newsom. Everybody don't know who Harvey Morris is. Harvey Morris actually has won several Emmys, I think, with the Marvelous Mrs. Mabel HBO show, and he won Emmys as a writer with some music in a television show, and also he was Freddie Jackson and Cameo's drummer. And then we did Dwayne Gott. He has received, I think, a Grammy with Hezekiah Walker, and Newsom actually was running for mayor. Fascinating people. So we can't wait to get this series. Actually, it's a station actually looking at us for this series. That's how things happen so fast, for just this one airing last week. So praise up. Thanks God. God to glory. But look, let me get off of here. You and I could be talking all day. We got to get Tawanda on this show. Let me say hello to Tawanda. She's probably mad now. Hey, Tawanda Blake. Welcome to Positive Power XI. What's up? How you doing?
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. So this is what happens when Shay don't never call me. She don't call me but once a month. And that's what happens when we get on the show.
I got to get Tawanda. I got to get so much better. The Facebook kind of cheats us because people can just, tag you're it, and then we can be talking this whole entire time and not hear each other's voice. So, yeah, don't let them fool you that way.
That's okay. When friends link up, that's what happens, right?
Yeah, that's right. Well, look, y'all show now. So if you guys need some extra time, it's okay. All right, you got to 11 o'clock.
Thank you.
Amen. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Well, welcome everyone. Welcome to the late night radio show with Jerry Royce. I am your co-host, Shay Samuels. Happy Labor Day. I'm excited to be here tonight and just taking part in this amazing interview with this amazing and beautiful woman, our special guest author tonight, Miss Tawanda Blake. So guys, tune in, share the file, participate, leave some comments. You guys are all in for a treat. So, Miss Tawanda Blake, how are you, ma'am?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I'm well, and you're brave because it's a holiday. You really should be laying back. But like Jerry Royce said, there's no breaks on, I think it was Tom Hanks said, there's no crying in baseball. There's no breaks on holidays.
Yeah,
so thank you so much for tuning in.
A laborless. We're Labor Day, laborless holiday, but that doesn't ring true in some cases.
That does not ring true. It's, I was thinking today when I started my day, I was like, okay, I had purposed myself, honestly, to just chill out today. Honestly, I just wanted to chill out. And then I got one phone call, a text, an email, a text, a phone call. And it just went uphill from there. So now I'm on the line with you and I get a chance to learn more about you. And so does the listeners. So for those of you who may not know who you are, Ms. Tawanda Blake, please let the listening audience know who you are.
It's funny because I always ask that question and now I'm stumped because I'm like, who am I? But I am an author, full-time aunt, mom. I'm in school, and I'm a blogger first, though, but blogging now so I can fulfill my fitness lifestyle, per se, and just do other things outside of writing as much as I do. That's pretty much it in a nutshell.
Good. And I'm so glad that you segue into the fitness piece because, honestly, that's really like what I picked up on, I was like, whoa, she is serious. I got to get back on my game. But, just before this interview tonight, my trainer called and said, well, we got to get scheduled again. It's been probably about 60 days, and you feel every bit of it if you are not doing it regularly. So I did notice that, and I said, oh, they are serious. I'm staying away from them. He's like, I will cheer you on from way back somewhere, but y'all are really serious. So talk to us about that lifestyle. How did you end up getting into it?
Ironically, it started over a year ago, with the I Crush Goals to Conquer the World campaign. I won't say campaign. It's more a family vibe. So you don't campaign your family. You know what I'm saying? It's like a family reunion. You're not going to campaign that. All the family's invited, right? So it started with that when Lisa G had reached out to me and she had noticed that I was losing weight. I didn't even know that I was losing weight at the time, but I was. And she, encouraged me to be more transparent about that journey at the time. And this is before the I Crush Goals to Conquer the World or I Crush Goals had taken off full steam. So when I lost the first 20 pounds, that was the montage or, the thing that we really focused on is celebrating your small wins, because if you're not celebrating your small wins, that is like kind of like you said with your fitness journey, like, I'm gonna hang back and watch everybody else. So it's just important to celebrate those things. If you stop drinking soda, if you started eating more vegetables, if you started eating more fruit, if you actually went to work on time, that is a small win when you're rearing to go every day and just all over the place. So you have to stop and take time to celebrate those things. So it started at that point with the fitness journey. And then, I joined the boot camp, but I was only doing it one time a week and it was inconsistent. It was like every other weekend because I was like you, I'm like, they too serious with this. I'm standing off to the side, like, I know you lying. I'm not getting ready to crab walk across that floor, not the kid. So, right. And interestingly, and I would still go, but, when boot camp would stop, I would be out for like 2 months or 3 months or however long it stopped and then jump back in the game. So by that time, whatever work I did, that was long gone. It was no way that I could build up to a certain point to where I would feel comfortable with myself. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. There was one guy who actually took me under his wing in December of last year. He was like, you know what? And he's not a certified fitness trainer, but he knows all the things that a fitness trainer knows. So he took me under his wing and he was like, you know what? I got to get you in the gym. We're going to get you right by January. So by the time January came around, we're working out every single day, not every day, but every other day, every weekend. And it had gotten to the point to where I was spending more time in the gym than I was spending at home. So it got so serious to where I started buying things for home because I'm like, you got to spend more time with the kids. You got to learn what that balance is like. And it just grew into its own monster pretty much. So here I am.
And I like that because one thing that you were talking about is just consistency. Like literally you had to be determined, you had to be intentional, and you had to be consistent. And it's when you didn't think about it, like that's when things changed. When you put too much effort into it, like unfortunately it's kind of that we set our goals for the first of the year and we're like, well, we're going to go to the gym and we're going to eat better. Like for some reason, the gym is always like everyone's New Year's goal. I'm going to lose 5 pounds in the first 5 days of the week. And what you're saying is it can happen. It's just not going to happen overnight.
No. It doesn't happen over. And that's why it's so important to celebrate your wins because you don't know how far you've come if you're just moving in the moment. So you have to celebrate those and think, okay, I remember where I was on this day a year ago. And that was the important thing that the I Crush Goals taught me was to journal everything that I did so I can look back on those dates so I can remember, okay, this is what happened at this time. And, man, I've come a long way. Let me keep going. So that's the important part of it is to never think that, okay, this is enough. It's never enough to become healthy. It's never enough in our Black community to just be stagnant where we are. It's always something that we can do better and be better at.
Yeah, I agree. And I think, like I said, our bodies are our temples. Like we really should be able to identify when it's time for us to relax, when it's time for us to start doing better. We shouldn't wait until we get into the doctor's office and the doctor's office tells us we're type 2 diabetes. We, shout out to Batman too, because he is another prime example of how to overcome the disease and not allow the disease to overcome him or take him over. And so he's out walking, he's out working out. He puts in his late night Planet Fitness. I don't know if you're still doing that, Batman, but we used to get pictures and videos of him in the fitness center at the Planet Fitness and just going in. And there are a lot of people who will not do what they need to do to care for themselves. And so the first thing you said was to just be consistent. You have to make your mind up to do this thing. And sometimes you might feel like you want to be the cheerleader in the background, but the reality of it is at one point you're going to get up and you're going to do what everyone else is doing, because you just can't sit for that long. And then two, you said I journal. First you said celebrate. So I celebrate the small wins. So you guys have to celebrate the small wins. So if you started drinking water and you know for a fact that you haven't drank water probably in like the last 2 months, if you did it for that one day, we celebrate you. we're Tawanda and I are going to celebrate you right now. We are celebrating you. We're celebrating you. We are celebrating you. If you stop drinking soda, if you stop drinking bread or eating bread, there's a lot of people right now who are just, I've seen too many Facebook posts about people not eating bread, and they posted day one. I promise you, I feel like these people just started and they're like, day 65, no bread.
That's a long time.
I was supposed to start 30 days ago.
That's a long time, but that's a beautiful testament, though. I remember when I stopped drinking, because when I started losing weight, I felt like, okay, so if I cut out this juice, I can drink Diet Coke. No, there was a whole other toxin that I was drinking. So I can't remember. I think it was like probably Lent. I gave up Diet Coke for Lent, if I'm not mistaken, and I never went back to drinking sodas. So, and that's a win I even totally forgot about until now, that I haven't had soda in over a year.
We're celebrating. I celebrate you.
Yes, because I don't like water, but I know how I feel or how my body feels when I don't drink it. So it's the thing that I drink secondary to the coffee in the mornings when I do my workouts before work is water. So, that's the other thing, too. That's another win, because I hate water. I mean, detest it, but I have to have it. You have to have it to live. So, it's just the small things that you don't think about until you're having that conversation like, well, dang, I've been drinking water for a little minute now. So
you better journal. You better journal that. You better journal it.
I'm pretty sure I did. Like, everything goes on Facebook. People don't understand the rhyme or reason why I update so much, why I post so many pictures. And then again, and oftentimes I will refer back to Lisa G, like, you can blame her for this mess, because she was the one who told me to do it. So, go back to her, get mad at her, because I'm doing it. Yeah. And it's always good to have that accountability partner, too. Oh, my goodness. It's so important to have that accountability partner. So the third bullet point was to journal, people. So once you do something that you have not done before, you pick up a good habit, journal it, celebrate it. Don't get all beat up and out of shape watching these people on TV who's been working out all their lives or probably had some type of surgery done to get there and start beating yourself up. Just journal it. We're celebrating with you. So talk to us about your book. Okay. I wanted to say something else about the fitness part, because I want to make sure that I have every aspect that's positive. And that the same guy has a group that I've joined. And when you said that we were doing the most or doing a lot, is because of that group where we, like-minded individuals are all up under that tutelage. of fitness, because you can't just bring anybody into that world of fitness and they're going to adapt. You got some people who mentally they want to do it, but they're not there yet. And you have the ones that's doing it. So you have to compartmentalize those people. You still encourage the ones that want to get there, but you go hard with the ones that's already doing it. So I definitely wanted to give a big up to that group too. And then as for the book, I have 3 books.
Time out now. You got to time out now. You have to time out now because you stayed on the fitness. So now I wanted to say something. So I was like, she's staying there, so we're just going to stay there. But because you talked about the group of people and how it takes like minds to actually adapt to one another, what I noticed about you as well is you don't just talk to yourself mentally, but you talk to your body physically whenever it's time for you to move, and when you feel like you really have to talk to your right, like arms move, legs move. Like you literally do the same thing with your body physically. So talk to us about that.
It was something that so I started doing Insanity Max. I keep changing the dates because I really don't know if it was April or May, somewhere in that neighborhood. So the guy that he literally gave me 2 months worth of videos to build up my endurance off of through the Insanity Max videos. So he said, you have to talk to your muscles. You have to talk to, you have to will yourself to be better, to feel better. And it's kind of like how we do our kids when we send our kids to school. You're not like when they catch a cough, or you can't do that now, but before COVID, pre-COVID, you feel well. It's all in your head. You're fine. You have to tell yourself these things that's wrong with me is mental. It's not really what's going on. Maybe I'm hyping myself. Maybe I'm having a paranoid situation here. So then even with your body parts, they tell you to fight through the pain. So even if I'm in pain, I have to tell myself, you have a goal to accomplish, fight through it. Let's go legs. Let's do this. Let's get it done. So if I set a goal for myself that day and my legs are not where I need them to be, just like last night, I went to bed, I was in pain. And that's just from hiking the mountain twice with the guys and the other women. Doing the exercise at the top, and the exercise at the top wasn't what took me out. Getting to the bottom after hiking twice took me out. So, these were considered the extreme leg workout. So I'm like, okay, I'm down. I don't turn down no challenge. What did I do that for? So I have this thing that I like to do called hill runs. And when it was time for me to go out there and do my hill runs, my legs, they would not move. I had to literally do interval runs and walk before I can get to that hill and loosen up my legs so I could run the way I needed to run. So I'm like, all right, legs, let's do this. Let's go. You're not that old. Get it together. And then finally I ran at the speed that I was supposed to run and completed my hill and stair runs.
Yeah. And I'm sure somewhere down the line, previous to all of this, you probably didn't even see yourself doing any of this.
Oh, God, no. I told you I was sitting on the wall watching everybody else like I'm a smoker.
But it's so ironic because you were there, though. You get what I'm saying? You were there. I don't believe in accident. I feel like you were there. And it's really just a seed that was sown. You were there for a reason. I believe you're on the line with me tonight for a reason. I told you my trainer just called back today and was like, what's up? It's been about 60 days. And I was supposed to start back last month. And then I'm like, well, no, I can't do it. And I almost talked myself out of it yesterday. But I believe you're on the line tonight for a reason as well. So if you're listening tonight and you needed some encouragement in your fitness, I encourage you to just go to this young lady's page, Tawanda Blake. Go to her page, and if you want to be inspired, and it's inspired with a great personality as well. It is inspiration with a great personality. I, had an opportunity to get your information a little bit earlier today. And I kind of scrolled through your page. I always look at everybody. And then I was like, oh, I didn't send her a friend request. And so I sent you a request and still haven't had an opportunity to go back. But I said to myself, she is bubbly. It's I like this personality. I really do. And then when I saw the fitness, I was like, oh, I'm out. No. And it's not just regular fitness. Like they are hiking. Like they are hiking. they go to the page. You will be inspired. I promise you. I don't think you'll want to sit on your couch after this. But we're going to talk more about the fitness when we come back off of talking about the book, because I want to make sure that we're talking about the book, and also I want to talk about your radio show as well. So let's talk about the author's side of life.
Oh, okay. I thought we were going to commercials. All right.
No. We're going to talk. No, we're going to talk about being the author first. Your life as an author, and then we're going to talk about the radio show.
Okay. So my life as an author, I started writing 10 years ago, or I published my first book 10 years ago. So I wrote 2 books in 1 year. So the first 2 books were like an offset, or I won't say biography because it was some fiction, some nonfiction. So, you have to make the story interesting, regardless of how intense it might have been, but that might not be intense for the reader, to keep the reader's attention, to gauge that reader's attention. So with the first 2 books is definitely based on my life, not just my life, my family as a whole. And it's just about overcoming, just a message, an old day to people, women, young girls in general, that they do not have to accept their circumstances for what they are. And they can always evolve, no matter how traumatic your experiences may be, no matter how much you may have endured, because sometimes when you're young, and that was like Through the Eyes of the Child is the name of the book, we perceive things to be different than what they really are. Children perceive things to be much worse than what they are. And in my situation, it was worse. But, it's just kind of like pointing that out. Like some of the things wasn't as bad as it was. Some of it was. But at the end of the day, and as the years went by, the ending of that story, there was no ending. It was always evolution. So, that was those 2 books. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, and you actually, when you were talking about kind of like that childlike, you actually do a lot when it comes down to your daughter and helping her to, like you're not necessarily living through her, but encourage through, how do I want to say this? You're encouraged through encouraging her to be more, if that makes sense. Like just in reading a little about you, you literally encourage her to be more, but you become the example. Thank you. You become the example of what more looks like to her. And that's major, especially in this time, and in their generation.
Well, for starters, I have multiple kids. I have like a army, but and I think you're talking about my 17-year-old. The thing is, I'm not a perfect parent. No parent is perfect. We make some of the craziest decisions ever, and we justify those. We make great decisions and we make crazy decisions. And out of those decisions, I had made a promise to her, because she had gotten into some trouble back in 2017. So it has been a real roller coaster ride. I try not to say navigating, because you can't navigate kids in this era. You have to show by doing. And that's what I did. Instead of trying to tell her, this is what I want you to do, this is what I expect out of you, I told her I would do it too. So with going back to school and attending school, and I said, well, if this is what you choose to do, if this is what you do, I'll go back with you so you won't be alone. We will do this together. And that's exactly what I did. So that's where we are. So I'm a grown 40-year-old. Well, I'm not even 40. That's a lie. 40. Thank you. Just trying to show her, even though I have so much on my plate, she matters. And her expectations of me matter as well. So I may not be able to do everything that she wants me to do or expects me to do. But as far as that goes, because I had pressured the kids and pressed the kids that education is so important. Well, if it's important for me, not for me, but for them, and that's my expectation out of them, then it should be the same for me too. So that's why I decided to go back and stick, like just go all the way. Like they see me doing homework, they see me in class, so I can't expect for them to follow my guidelines in this virtual world now if I'm not doing the same thing. So it's easier to show them versus tell them, if that makes sense.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Am I live, Jerry Royce?
You are live. You are live.
I'm live. All right. Thank you so much. Miss Tawanda Blake, I do apologize for that, but we are back. When I got where I could not hear you anymore, you were just talking about going back to school with your daughter.
Yes.
Okay. So I think everyone had an opportunity to hear that. I was talking to someone on the back end, so I think everyone got an opportunity to hear that. But again, it goes back to what we were talking about, just consistency and persistency and just being an example. The last thing I heard you say was just kind of in this generation, you can't really guide them. So, or not guide them, but like they navigate. But you are definitely an example to a lot of people clearly around you. Just in the little bit of time that I've gotten a chance to know about you, definitely inspired me to just get out there and just keep doing it. There's certain things that we know in our minds mentally that we can do and physically that we can do. I think the hardship is there are things that we want to do and we just don't step out on it. I mean, bottom line, we just don't step out on it. So kudos to you for that. So let's talk about your radio show. Let's talk about your radio show, because not only are you on the radio show interviewing, but like you said in the beginning, you always ask everyone else, well, who are you? So that radio personality piece of you, how did that come about?
Well, I'm a blogger, actually, so I'm an interviewer by trade, I guess, or by nature. And like I said, just being able to maintain my lifestyle and not be writing for hours on hours, because when you write about people, they expect the best story possible. And I can't write about the best story possible and work out at the same time. That's just not cohesive. So I had to figure out a way to where I can get these stories out in a timely fashion and still be able to do what I want to do every single day. So blogging took precedence. And it's better because, when you write, people don't really believe that you interview all of these amazing people. Some do, some don't. It's a toss-up, you know what I'm saying, depending on your audience. And your audience is a huge fan base and a critic, at the same time. So along with doing your virtual interviews, they get to see these people. They get to get the realism behind the interview of what made you so excited about this in the first place. So that's technically how I got into it. So I've been blogging or writing. I wrote the books starting in 2010. I wrote my first piece for a magazine in 2011. And then I became a writer in 2012, a journalist in 2012. So in that order.
Okay. Well, I'm excited for all that you have going on. I did a post a couple of days ago, and I said, when you think differently, different things begin to happen. And it sounds like you just had a mind made up that this is what you were going to do, how you were going to do it. And you were just consistent and persistent in getting it done and continually being a great example. Before we close out tonight, can you leave the listening audience with some encouraging words?
Yeah, it's a lesson that I've learned. The encouraging word is don't take business personal, and your first no will always circle back. So just stay optimistic and continue to work on whatever it is that you need to work on to better you, to better your craft, and just keep going. Persevere.
I love that she said your first no will always come back. Oh, I love you, Miss Tawanda Black. Your first no. Look, I should have started off with that. Your first no will always come back. Where can everyone that's listening tonight and those who will possibly hear this playback sometime in the morning in other countries or in the afternoon in other countries, where can they connect with you?
I usually say Instagram. I'm very skeptical about letting people on my Facebook page. I get deleted all the time. So if you're not going to want to see me post 1,000 times a day, that is not the place for you. You should go to Instagram, where I am less busy. So Tawanda_Blake at Instagram.
But what about the people who need the inspiration? So on Facebook, there are people like me who will probably think, I told you I'm going to be.
Listen, when I say I get deleted, and I don't take it personal. It just comes with the territory. So if you do want to follow me on Facebook, that's fine. But I warn you, I caution you, I update 1,000 times a day, and I don't waver. I don't care who don't like it. I don't waver from my what makes me happy in my happy space. So, But Tawanda Blake for Facebook.
Now, do you do any speaking engagements?
I used to. I'm not doing any speaking engagements right now. The devil is a liar. So if it has to be speaking, it will be Zoom, of course. But like I used to do a lot of them back in the day. I'm not really the type. I like being behind the scenes, or there's mystery to the journalist that's behind the scenes instead of the one that's in front of the camera, I guess. I mean, both equally well, both equally serve, but I know my lane. So that public speaking has never been something I enjoyed doing, because I don't like being in crowds. You give me a microphone, you give me a recorder. I don't have to be in the area to do what I do well. You know what I'm saying? Right. So that's my lane. Right.
Okay. Well, we all know our lanes, but like I said, I have thoroughly enjoyed learning about you today. I'm always excited when I learn about someone new, and especially someone who's doing as much as you do to just encourage people the way that you are. I love your personality. We haven't met face to face, and I'm sure this is maybe the first time you've heard my name, but going through your researching you today, you're definitely someone that I'm excited about getting to know more about, and also connecting with, even on the outside of this interview, just because of how encouraging you have been just in the 4 hours that I've gotten an opportunity to know more about you. So that's a wrap. I mean, I appreciate you so much for being on the interview tonight. And for those of you who may have more questions for her, go to the Instagram page. Don't bother her on her Facebook page. Go to the Instagram page. Go to the Instagram page. And also, do you have a website?
I do. It's www.interruptedblogs.com. And then I have interviews on the Interrupted Blogs Instagram page as well. So it's just Interrupted Blogs.
Okay. And how do you choose the people who come on your live interviews?
I let everybody on. I'm not, that's different, because again, selecting a certain audience, you know what you're coming for. You don't want to see it. So target audience. So anybody is welcome on, if they're interested, I have to say.
Okay, and how would they get in touch with you for that? Is that just on the website, your Instagram page?
If they send me, through the website. If they send a message through the website, or send a message through Instagram, that comes straight to my email, I'll get it. Okay.
Well, listen, guys, I want to say thank you again to Miss Tawanda Blake, our special guest tonight. I'm excited again about getting to know more of her. And you guys, this year, don't wait, because I really wanted to get into fitness in the pandemic, but our time has run short. So, Jerry, you are going to have to get her back on with us, because I have like a whole nother 40 minutes in me with her. I have a whole nother 40 minutes, because I'm interested in knowing more about like fitness within the pandemic. But because our time is up, I just want to say thank you again for being on with me tonight. It's been a pleasure to get to know more about you. And I hope that our listeners got a lot out of it, which I'm sure that they did. Comment, give some words of encouragement to Miss Tawanda Blake as she continues to take this journey. Go to her Facebook page just to review. Don't stay on there long. Go ahead and connect with her on Instagram and make sure if you do want to get on her virtual live show, she's open to, know what you're coming for, though. Don't just send her information just because she just said anybody can get on. Come with some substance, because you see that she's all about substance and a good personality. David Benton always says, you better be smiling. So when you come on her show, you better be smiling. So I want to thank you again. I do have one more question for you before we go. We ask all of our guests before they go, can you feel the power? Can you feel the power? Can you feel the power?
I'm up, so I would say yes.
Thank you again, Ms. Tawanda Blake. It was a pleasure interviewing you tonight.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. I enjoyed you as well.
Thank you.
You are listening to Jerry Royce Live Worldwide Podcast.
All right, we want to thank Miss Tawanda Blake for joining us. Of course, she has a lot in her. We heard her interview before, and it's never enough time for Tawanda Blake. Take a word for it, Shay. We will try to get her back. All right, everybody, thank you for tuning in. Thank you. Don't forget you can check all of this on the Encore. This right plays back on Tuesday. So check us out after Fire. This right, Catch Fire, the Gospel Experience with Ron E. Jefferson, starting at 10 o'clock. But before that, you catch all of these shows live right here. That's right, on Spreaker Radio. Check us out. Also catch us on Periscope. Just look for Jerry Royce Live Worldwide. Take care, everybody. Thanks for joining us on Labor Day. Hope you had a great one. Take care, everybody. Good night.
Can you feel the power? Can you feel the power? Feel the power of Double X.
Positive Power 21.org Internet Radio.
You are listening to Jerry Royce Live Worldwide Podcast.
Hey, my name is Davis and I'm from Haiti, but I live in Dominican Republic. I'm here, Positive Power 21, Jerry Royce Live Worldwide.